One thing that has interested me is that, Mandy found a letter to the editor written a while ago, just sort of, and you kind of touched on this a little, like, we start to talk about domestic violence being a women's issue, and there are men who are quick to say, but men are also victims, and maybe even exaggerating. In that one letter that you found, Mandy, they're exaggerating, like, to an even greater extent that they're victims of domestic violence. But that seems to be the knee-jerk reaction, is to say, one, that, let's not forget about the men who are victims, and sort of make this a false equivocation between the two. And then the second thing is, as I'm trying to figure out what scares men so much, I should say, what scares male legislators so much about domestic violence laws that strengthen it, do you think it comes down to them feeling like they can just be blamed for this and then be held accountable to something that they didn't do? Or, like, are they personalizing it? What is it that is keeping them from understanding the importance of this issue?
Well, sometimes, the people that scream the loudest are the most guilty. I think there's some people in the legislature that could be found guilty, not of domestic violence per se, like beating up your wife, but of coercive control. I mean, I see it in how their wives act and how their children act. And I could point them out to you if anybody wants to have a private conversation later. I'm not going to accuse anybody online, but there are people that their wives fear them. There are people that scare me. They don't scare me, but their actions are bizarre. I think they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to talk about their male counterparts. If they talk about it, they might be accusing somebody that sits next to them, or they might be accusing their buddy that, I think they know people that are like that. I think they don't think it's that important. I don't get it, because it is important, but there are some men in there that get it, and there are some men in there that would fight to the death for to stand up for a woman. But is it for the right reasons? I don't know. But there are some in there that think women are less. And it's not just the one that thinks we're a lesser cut of meat. It's a lot of them.